Hey everybody, Anthony here, and this video is for the Disney adults out there. You know those people, those grown adults that are willing to push a 4-year-old to the ground so that they can ride the Dumbo ride first. I just want to ask, how did you enjoy the D23 Expo? Did you enjoy all the new projects that are announced? What are you looking forward to the most? Maybe what you're looking forward to the most is that new progressive reboot of Snow White where she refuses to clean or cook, even if Dopey is asking for those chicken nuggets that are shaped like dinosaurs, where she only needs to use the microwave. That's not the Disney project that I'm most excited about. The Disney project that I'm most excited about is their efforts to be completely immune from any and all legal responsibilities. Now, people that end up at Epcot Center as opposed to one of the other Disney parks often spend that time wishing that they were dead. Well, careful what you wish for. Alright, so I've got this article up here, and it's from a website called LongIslandNews12.com. And you see this couple, they look, not that you're supposed to judge people by the way they look, but they look like a nice, loving couple, so it's kind of a sad thing that happened to this lady, but let's get into it. Disney wants wrongful death suit involving Long Island doctor tossed, citing Disney Plus terms. And the author of the article is listed as the News 12 staff. The lawsuit claims that Dr. Kenkoporntang Swang suffered a fatal allergic reaction after eating at a Disney Springs restaurant despite repeatedly informing the waiter of her severe allergy. Disney has asked a Florida court to dismiss a wrongful death lawsuit filed by the husband of a Long Island doctor. The lawsuit claims that Dr. Kenkoporntang Swang suffered a fatal allergic reaction after eating at a Disney Springs restaurant despite repeatedly informing the waiter of her severe allergy. And let me just say I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, that's just what it looks like to my cracker eyeballs. So, there you are. Moving on. Disney is calling for the lawsuit to be dismissed because her husband signed up for a 1-month trial of the Disney Plus streaming service years prior. The company says signing up for the trial requires users to arbitrate all disputes with the company. So, not just, they're arguing not just for Disney Plus, just for everything with Disney, and not just if they're subscribers. They signed up for a 1-month trial according to this article, so that's bullshit right there. Husband Jeffrey Piccolo is in excess of $50,000 in the lawsuit. The lawsuit states that Tang Swan had dinner at Raglan Road Irish Pub on October 5th, 2023, with her husband and his mother. Tang Swan had a severe allergy to nuts and dairy products and informed the waiter that she's required allergen-free food. The couple questioned the waiter about various items on the menu, according to the lawsuit. The waiter then asked the chef whether certain foods could be made allergen-free, before returning to the table and confirming they could. The couple asked the waiter several more times to be absolutely sure the food would be allergen-free before Tang Swan ordered a fritter, scallops, and onion rings, the lawsuit said. When the food arrived, some items did not contain allergen-free flags, prompting the doctor and her husband to ask the waiter if the items were nut and dairy-free. The waiter guaranteed that the food was allergen-free, the lawsuit said. Around 8 p.m., after finishing dinner, the doctor and her mother-in-law went shopping separately at Disney Springs, while Piccolo returned to their room with the leftover food, the lawsuit said. Gosh, I really hope that guy didn't end up eating that leftover food. Can you imagine? His wife's in a hospital bed, but he just doesn't want the onion rings to go to waste, so he keeps chowing down on them. I know that's kind of fucked up for me to say, but this is kind of a morbid story, and I'm kind of trying to lighten up with jokes a little bit. Continuing. About 45 minutes later, Tang Swan was having difficulty breathing when she entered Planet Hollywood and collapsed to the floor. The lawsuit said she had self-administered an EpiPen while suffering from the allergic reaction. Her mother-in-law began calling to meet back up with her, but the calls went unanswered, according to the lawsuit. The mother-in-law returned to the hotel, and she called Tang Swan's phone again. This time, someone answered and said Tang Swan had been taken to a hospital. The doctor died at the hospital, the lawsuit said. A medical examiner's investigation determined she died as a result of anaphylaxis due to elevated levels of dairy and nut in her system, the lawsuit said. The lawsuit alleges that Raglan Road failed to educate, train, and or instruct its employees to make sure food was allergen-free. Honestly, that wasn't the best article in the world because the headline didn't really go into the main story that we're talking about. It pretty much went into the details of this young lady's personal story, but didn't really go into too much about Disney and how Disney's being kind of a dick with the whole, oh, you signed up for Disney Plus once, so You owe us your life. The point is that Disney thinks they're so high and mighty that anybody who signs up for Disney Plus forfeits their right to sue them for any reason whatsoever, even things that aren't related to Disney Plus. If Donald Duck comes up to you with no pants on and grabs you by the pussy, well, you're legally out of luck there. Now, this of course doesn't mean that anybody who ever works at Disney just is completely immune from the law. They still have to follow the law. Kathleen Kennedy can't just sniff the air and go, "I smell a man," and then just hunt him down with a lightsaber and chop off his genitals, even though lightsabers probably don't have that power anymore. They're still susceptible, of course, to being imprisoned. It's just that Disney, as an entity, just cannot be sued according to this legal argument. This is, of course, not the first time that Disney has hired evil lawyers to do their bidding. Remember that one case where, a couple of years back, where a kid died. I assume he was under 10 and he was a major Spider-Man fan, and the family wanted Spider-Man's image on the gravestone, and Disney said no, even though there's absolutely no way that would be harming Disney, in my opinion. I don't see one. Maybe they can clarify for me. Maybe Disney just didn't want the competition. Maybe they thought that if they put the image of Spider-Man on the gravestone, then that would be the happiest place on Earth. To be fair, Disney really shouldn't be sued for this because they're basically the landlord in this situation. Somebody else was responsible for the wrongdoing. But that's the legal argument they should be using. It shouldn't be like, oh, you signed up for Disney Plus once. Too bad your wife's dead. Here's a free Mickey keychain. Like, I could maybe if I'm being generous, say that it's okay that you can't sue the billion-dollar corporation for anything related to the streaming service, but not anything at all related to their massive umbrella of things that they have going on. We at the Disney Corporation are so sorry that we killed your wife. We won't do anything to make the situation better, but please enjoy this reboot of Willow. With a move like this, I get the impression that Bob Iger's life goal is to dive into a pool of gold coins Scrooge McDuck style and kill himself breaking his neck. But fear not, people who want to sue Disney, because I will help you out. If you ever want to sue Disney for anything, I never signed up for Disney Plus, so I could be the party representing you. Are you a black person who brought your family to the Magic Kingdom and for reasons unknown, Goofy called you the N-word? Well, I can't really help you out there because I'm not black, so I can't pretend that. But hey, if you pick up a tea kettle in their parks and it doesn't talk to you like Mrs. Potts does, I've got your back. It was reported that there's an edited version of Lilo and Stitch on the Disney Plus app that covers up a washing machine so that kids won't get the idea to crawl into it. Hey, if your kid does that, they sound kind of dumb to me, but if you want to sue them, I don't know. Whatever judge comes across this case, I hope they're sane enough to just toss this shit out right away, because if they can get away with it, all these other big corporations are going to get away with doing that too. You'll sign away your rights, and there's nothing you can do because they're just so ubiquitous in our lives. Oh, you once tried Lunchables back in 1996? Well, it's too bad you can't sue the company because the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile ran over your son. Bottom line, this is bullshit. There is no legal legs to stand on here, and powerful corporations do not have that much power that they can force this level of legal arbitration onto us. Thanks for tuning in. Please leave a like, comment, or respectful comment to me and other people, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.